One of the beautiful things about Total War Warhammer 3 is there's literally so many matchups in the game. There are quite a few that I just really kind of lack a decent amount of knowledge about. I haven't really seen the matchup enough times to have like a strong opinion. Skaven versus Ogres is one of those that for whatever reason I just haven't seen that much, but it is a really interesting matchup. Obviously Ogres being primarily large, monstrous infantry based, heavy rush emphasis can definitely give Skaven some headaches. That being said, Skaven also has some really strong tools playing defensively in this matchup. A lot of their range tools are quite punishing, and yeah, have decent anti-large options as well, decent skirmish options, and just generally their high numbers can sometimes give the Ogres a little bit of issues. It's definitely an interesting matchup for sure, like I said, but here, to replay from Flying Taco, he's got a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw, Ogre Bulls up front with Noblars and Trappers here, plenty of them, a Hunter. Way out wide, we've got Sky Striders, Saber-Tusk pack, and more Crushers and Saber-Tusks over here. A couple of Vanguard hidden Gorgers in the back, stocked, moving in, stock units. When you're attacking a army like Skaven, if they're playing defensively, it can be very good. Skaven are playing defensively here, certainly, with Ikit Claw bringing in some War Machines here. He's got a couple of Warp Lightning Cannons. Looks like Storm Vermin. Yeah, 4 Storm Vermin Halberds for Elite Anti-Large, with Council Guard being one of them. We've got Chieftains here as well, 2 of them. Again, Anti-Large infantry characters can kind of give some extra poke. Lots of Skaven Slave Spears. Yeah, some Slingers. A little bit of range pressure, but definitely those Warp Lightning Cannons quite punishing to Ogres units of all types. Ikit running a little bit of disruption here, kind of getting into those Noblars, getting chased out by the Bulls. Not really a lot of value to be had there, but you might as well kind of poke at what you can. Certainly for Flying Taco's perspective, any damage that goes into these Noblars that's not being allocated into important units like the Hunters, or especially obviously the Crushers, it's good value, right? They're very cost effective at catching projectiles like giant bolts of lightning with their faces. I mean, it is a team effort when a giant bolt of green lightning flies in. Definitely got to get the group together to catch it, but such is the fate of the Noblars. Ikit zapping him a bit there from his Doom Wheel. Some people saying in the last Skaven replay that Ikit's Doom Wheel hitbox is a little bit bugged, or Doom Wheels in general seem to be a little bit bugged right now. I did see that. Yeah, a few of those Cathan cannonballs seem to just pass straight through, so definitely something to keep an eye on. But hidden Gorgers here, just kind of staying put for the time being until Flying Taco can develop the rest of his rush to get a nice full encirclement here. This is very veteran play, obviously. Flying Taco is a very good player, been playing for a long time. He knows this is the way to approach here without taking too much damage on his high value stuff. But now the Gorgers are going to be activated here. Looks like the one moving in there a little bit closer. And Saber-Tusk pack also just kind of lurking. But yeah, the house is incoming. Noblars moving in here. Night Runners had been kind of screening, able to shoot away a couple of Noblars, but again, wasting a lot of their ammunition. I mean, obviously they didn't know Noblars were here until, or Gorgers rather, were here until just now. Would have been good to preserve some of that ammo for the Gorgers, but the gorgeous Gorgers running on in with green paint on their faces, and they're going to immediately pull away. Quick hit and run charge. Gorgers are good shock units after all, with 46 charge bonus, only 28 defense. So using them a bit like, you know, knights here, if you will. Charge on in, pull away. Here with the Noblar support, they should trade just fine. Noblar's having some terror issues in the front line, though, and just generally the front line pulling pretty fast. It's typical Skaven behavior, to be honest. Fold the front line very quickly. Obviously, no globes here, as they're more applicable against traditional infantry factions. But yeah, Sky Strider's starting to take some hits from that Warp Lightning Cannon. Ogres definitely need to get in and shut them down as quick as possible. But some nice play here, just avoidance with the Gorgers to get away from the Storm Vermin Halberds, not take that free damage. The Crushers looking for a nice opportunity to charge in, just flatten some Skaven Slave Spears here, get them off the field. Another unit of Gorgers does manage to penetrate this backline area and get on one Warp Lightning Cannon, shut them down. Sky Strider's going to be eating a heal. Look at that, 2 unit models down though. The amount of damage them taken, that is a testament to the damage of the Warp Lightning Cannon, is able to actually kill a couple of unit models there very quickly. But yeah, Crushers charging from both sides. Not sure if, like, did they actually get a side charge on the Council Guard there? Of course, Council Guard being unbreakable, they're going to hold, but Yeah, decent amount of damage for sure. That Brass Orb also, decent amount of damage. Managed to hold up a couple of the Sky Striders, so tactically, just keeping 3 of those unit models out of the fight momentarily was quite nice. Gorges trying to keep those elite crushers in the fight as they keep pulling through those anti-large Skaven infantry, of which there are a lot. These crushers also taking significant damage here. The bulls somehow, I guess because Storm Vermin are all focused on more higher value units, not really taking that much damage, but Gorges coming back around. Mass. It's hard for the Skaven to stop, especially without any Rat Ogres or anything high mass of their own. All they can do is follow up with their halberds and try and poke them in the back, so does mean the Ogres are able to get through and get the Warp Lightning Cannons mostly shut down, although it looks like Cleansing Ruin and the halberds might be enough to push them back momentarily. This whole time, the Hunters as well have just been sitting back, throwing their anti-large javelins at Ikit, sort of just keeping some pressure on him over time, not allowing him to just sit and, you know, cackle and impose his will here. But Gorges trying their best, Secret Agent Gorges, to shut down those Warp Lightning Cannons 1-for-1. That's a great trade if they are able to get it done. Large Skaven doing their best to defend here. Council Guard and everything else. A lot of anti-large poke. A lot of unit models there. Yeah, look at the damage on the Gorges once they start to really feel it. But the Unbreakable Gorges, of course, handful will keep fighting there along the cannon. And at the very least, looks like this other cannon crew came back from route. I'm not sure where the crew's at exactly, due to the banner bugging out a little bit there. But Sabertusk Pack and the regular Gorgers also continuing to fight here. One thing about the Skaven is they have managed to get a little bit pulled out of position. A couple of these Storm Vermin and the Night Runners away from like the artillery and other Storm Vermin. We need to be trying to stay together as much as possible. Keep those artillery especially online, but we'll see. Sky Striders moving through. Looks like another Cleansing Ruin there. Going to hit the Slaughtermaster. Does not hit the Crushers. They managed to just avoid that area of effect. So pretty good stuff there. But Noblars continuing to saturate their bodies here in the Storm Vermin. Is going to provide a little bit of a hammer and anvil situation for the Crushers, although that charge wasn't super impactful. Crushers definitely got their work cut out for them. It's a lot of anti-large AP Storm Vermin, which, again, their stats individually not incredible, but just an insane number of unit models means that the very few in number of Crushers will be outnumbered like 10-1 when fighting those units. So definitely something to consider. But also something to consider is the performance of these Hunters, as they have been able to pretty much get Ikit off the field for the most part. This one Hunter's still going here with his javelin, still poking Ikit, making some solid contact for sure. Slaughtermaster also pulling back and away here, but there's just so many Storm Vermin. I'm not sure if Taco's going to be able to get it done. It's also Conquest, which means this capture point could come into play right now. Taco's got it, so he is kind of stabilizing things a little bit, but the Skaven player was able to get more than half the tickets they need for victory. One of the biggest points of feedback about Conquest by far is for Creative Assembly to set the default ticket limit to 700. It's what we used in my Land of Battles with Caps tournament, which is kind of like a precursor to Conquest, and seemed to work quite well, actually. So, excuse me, hopefully they implement that sometime in the near future. We'll see. I haven't heard anything about a possible 5.2 or more, you know, yet, but I'm hoping we'll see something soon. Nice charge here, though. Again, unbraced or in the rear. Anytime you can get something like that, it's going to be great. A little bit of Butcher here to heal those Crushers as well. Gotta get those units to their healing cap, those Sky Striders. Besides the 2 unit models they lost, the Warp Lightning Cannons initially, haven't lost any more of their numbers, so pretty critical, especially in this late game, to have both these Crushers operational and able to continue cycle charging. But look at that damage, even on that approach. Taking some significant damage from those Storm Vermin and Halberds. The Slaughtermaster also going to be continuing to get DPS'd by Cleansing Ruin, but look at that, Ikit getting finished just about by the Hunter. He's down to, yeah, just under 1,000 HP, so he could rally potentially and get some more work done, but loss of leadership, if he does get fully killed, is going to be significant for the Skaven, given their low base leadership. Let's see here. Yeah, right now the tickets are basically even, but you can see the Skaven players kind of trying to move their Storm Vermin over, especially the Council Guard being completely unbreakable. They are able to recapture that point. It's going to be tough for the Ogres to fully dislodge them, but like here you can see where the Ogres are able to full remote multiple units, kind of get some hammer and anvil, cycle charging from both sides. to take out the storm vermin. Not with ease, I should say, but, you know, they aren't able to do it, at the very least. More throwing daggers coming in from the trappers, very clutch DPS in the late game there. Even if their AP values are not incredible, still just a good volume of fire and extra poke. Every little bit helps. Trying to take out unbreakable halberds. There you go, Crushers moving in, charge, moving away. The Sky Striders, of course, with their Frostbite also will help in that endeavor. They will continue slowing the Storm Vermin as they try to pursue, but Brave Hunter here is going to try and finish off it. Throws a few more javelins, gets him down about 300 HP. Another Cleansing Ruin on the Slaughtermaster is not going to fully bring him down either, so leadership-wise, Ogres are in a very good position, but the capture point was taken by the Skaven, and little sneaky Noblar trappers trying to take it back. Both the Ogre Cavalry collapse back. Of course, they don't want to stay in prolonged combat against these Storm Vermin Halberds, even weakened as they are, and especially with this now healthy-ish unit, almost half HP there on that unit of Storm Vermin. Moving to occupy the point, so yeah, all of a sudden, all the support units, all the Noblars for the Ogres just kind of disappear, route off into the night, and suddenly it's just the Gorgers and the Crushers, and it's like, oh wow, that's a legit few hundred worth of Skaven. Yeah, I mean, a few hundred unit models, a few thousand maybe in terms of value left. Both the Chieftains are quite healthy as well, so not much to do but Skaven Sandwich, and it is a glorious one at that. Wow, look at the blood effects, just absolutely spectacular. Crushers charge from both sides, the Gorgers then with the steel chair from the side. See, some of the Crushers are falling here. Sky Strider meets his noble end at the hands of many Skaven halberds. We'll fast forward now, as this will continue for some time. Skaven holding out desperately, Council Guard in particular, with their unbreakable leadership, despite them having already taken severe losses, are just going to try and hold for the clock here. You can see the victory tickets are going up for the Skaven, slowly but surely. Soon they actually technically hit army losses, everything mounts, except for the Council Guard. Will they be able to hold on long enough? They need about 25 seconds worth. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it is going to be close, though. Yeah, wow, 486 on tickets. Another 14 seconds. Skaven would have won it, but instead Flying Taco manages to just break through for the victory, finish off those Council Guard. And what a game, man. Quad Storm Vermin Halberds. It's interesting. This is definitely a matchup for it, though. For sure. I think Storm Vermin kind of underrated, to be honest. Maybe Skaven as a whole, a little bit underrated these days, but very strong faction if you know what you're doing. KFD Ash here almost was able to pull out the win, despite facing off against a very good player on the opposite side. Yeah, really just value all around. One Rat Ogre did have a little bit of a tough time holding back everything, but that's kind of the name of the game here. Both the Crushers, of course, well over 400 kills. And one of them doesn't even break 2,000 damage value on that. 23,000 damage dealt. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, combined those two, almost 1,000 kills between them. Just spectacular. I love it so much. Then the two Gorgers obviously come in. One of them also does actually pay for itself. I would say tactically, though, just the two Gorgers being able to take out the Warp Lightning Cannons, although they did end up pretty much paying for themselves as well. Just was enough to kind of hold off some damage on, like, the Hunters. The one got absolutely blasted, right? But the other Hunter came in, able to do enough damage to Ikit Claw to actually help decisively swing the game as well. So that was a pretty key aspect of this build. And the Hunters being so cheap, just their anti-large jabs, definitely very cost-effective. Yeah, really fun game, honestly. Really, really close. Let's just quickly end with the Hunter on foot. For the Ogres, nice anti-large missile tool for hero, and really, I mean, you can get him for, yeah, 800. That's extremely cost-effective if you can use up all the javelins. Of course, he's got some other stuff going on, which you don't really need to worry about too much, honestly. Just getting him as cheap as possible is probably the best thing to do here. But that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.